Sup players and welcome to this video. I'm SaxyG. In today's video we're going to talk about the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Banlist that was just released right now. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So the first card that is unlimited, we have Black Dragon Colored Serpent, which I will say it's actually fine because Rocket is getting new support in Burst of Protocol here in February. So it makes sense for them to unlimit it. So Dragon Link players now will have, something to play with again. You can say, like, Dragon Link will be a little bit more consistent. And that is the same case with White Dragon Vibrant Buster as well. Then we have Dark Creeper, which I actually can't remember what that card is. So yeah. Vanquish Soul Raisin is back at 3, which is crazy to think about. So yeah. Now I can finally play my playset of Raisin again, alongside with my playset of Stake Your Soul. Something that I also like to see on the list is that Zodiac Trident is finally also again back on 3, because again the card itself is not a problem anymore. It was, and that was the reason for why it was banned. I believe, or yeah, and I know it was limited before, so don't hate me for that. Change of Heart at 3, it's fine. I like nostalgia cards, and I like that Change of Heart is actually back at 3. So yeah. Christian Inclusion it's also fine. I believe that Inclusion is the searcher of the entire Christ run. So as I can recall. So yeah. Really fine, I will say. Right now, Crystron, the strongest version of Cryston, is the Wanker, not the Wanker Soul, the K9 version. Snatch Steel back at 3, it's also fine. I really like the whole idea in that. So overall, guys, for the unlimited parts, I will say it's actually good. It's good cards. It reminds me back when we got Phantom of Ubel limited to 1, where like the Ubel deck got some of the stronger searchers back in opening of the Spirit Gates. Before that, it was limited, and then it came back. Then it came back at 3 when Phantom of Ubel was limited to 1. So I don't know, guys. I feel like that I haven't seen the entire list, or in some situation I have because I'm editing this video, but it doesn't matter. But I feel like that with this, and I can also spoil it right now, because most of you might already have seen it, maybe. But Vanquish Soul has also another hit here. But yeah, let's move on to the semi-limited. So for the semi-limited, guys, we really don't have that much. We only have Droll and Lockbird, which I will say Droll is a strong card against many decks. And I actually respect Konami a little bit because of not completely limiting it or banning it, but just to begin with, semi-limiting it. And the reason behind that is because that we still have strong decks like Mitsurugi in the game. We still have a lot of other decks that lose to Droll, and most of those decks are actually rogue decks. So I respect Konami for why they have actually hit Droll, because it makes sense for a rogue player just like myself. I will say I hate Droll and Lockbird. There are certain cards that I hate, but I have to, play them, because the stronger decks, the stronger meta decks, like for example Mitsurugi, are very. I will say the strongest counters to them is definitely cards like Droll and Lockbird. So that's why I respect Konami for only semi-limiting it, because that means that, yes, I know it will still be a punishment for rogue players, but again, it will not be like, it will still punish the meta decks as well. Like, again, Mitsurugi and the variants of Mitsurugi. So yeah, pretty much not that much else in the semi-limit. Let's move on to the limited section, guys. Alright, guys, now to the limited section. And first of all, also apart from the picture that you can see, but first of all, limited Draco Tail Mululu, which I will say it's nice to see that Draco Tail got a hit, because I feel like that if Mitsurugi, like you can also see, they also have a hit because of Abakiri being on the screen. But if Mitsurugi was the only, meta relevant deck that was hit on the ban list, I feel like the Dragotail would definitely be one of the top contenders, one of the top decks that you would see at the events. So I'm actually happy that Dragotail got a hit. We also have K9 Jokul. K9 was also a deck that I felt like needed a hit, because I feel like that at the time around when K9 first was released, many people didn't know that much, like to splash them into every deck. Like the first one that came in mind was Wanker Soul K9, when K9 first was announced and made out in the game. So yeah. So I feel like that it's a really nice hit to, first of all, the K9 stuff and the K9 variants, especially decks like K9 Wanker Soul, now where we know that Raisin and Staker Soul is back at 3. And then we also do have Wanker Soul Holy Sue limited to 1, which I would say it makes sense. And remember, guys, I talked about this earlier in the video, where I felt like that this was a type of ban list that they also gave us when Phantom of Yubel was limited to 1, because they limited the strongest Yubel card and gave us back Searchers. Konami have done the same thing right here. They have essentially removed the strongest piece for the Wanker Soul engine and given us back the, I would say, the best Searchers of the deck. Like, I will say it's a fine hit. Like, for example, right now, guys, I will say Wanker Soul, yes, they will be affected by both Jokul and Holy Sue being hit and limited, but again, we got 2 Stake Your Souls and 2 Raisin back. Like, there are more opportunities right now, so you can basically search Holy Sue no matter what. Yes, it's harder to do now, but it's not impossible. And that is what I like about the list so far. We also have Yummy Snatching, and I will say I'm happy about that card being gone. Like, I'm happy about that Konami have decided to limit Snatchy, and yeah. Because I will say it's a cracked card for Yummy. Then we have the big one. Habikiri is limited, and I will say, like, and I also have plans of, I do have a deck profile with it, but I did have plans of uploading a Blackwing Mitsurugi deck profile. I will still do that, guys, and so basically just keep in mind that is before the ban list, because you never know when the ban list is going to be announced. I will still upload that deck profile, and basically I feel like that I will edit in, like, or else I will just make a new one. I feel like that is more easy. And then I'm going to talk about what 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 the changes of the ban list have made, how the changes are going to affect the deck itself. I'm gonna do that. But back to, how does this affect the real problem, like Mitsurugi, the variants? I'm talking about pure Mitsurugi and Yomimitsu. First of all, it removes so much. Like, for example, and we actually were a couple of people that talked about this at locals. Habakiri does too much, and we agreed on that. Even though that I were playing Habakiri there, but it eats too many interruptions. First of all, it's very easy for you as a player to just combo off, and I'm just saying this because I agree it. I agree 100% to it, even though that I play the card itself. And I will say yes, I'm a little bit sad about that it was hit before I got my a chance to take it with me to a bigger tournament. Um, but basically, I will say it's fine. So yeah. Next up, we do have a case for K9, another K9 hit, and I will say it's also fair. It's a fair hit, alongside with Ketsu Draco Tail. So basically, Konami have decided to um, find a solution for the most problematic decks that will potentially be the most problematic decks post burst protocol. Because keep in mind, guys, we are getting the new K9, we're getting the new Wayne Crystal, not Wayne Crystal. We're getting the new K9, we're getting the new Draco Tail, and the new Yummy support in. I believe we also get Yummy support in Burst Protocol. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe that we do. Yeah, we're getting the new K9 XCs, the new Draco Tail Fusion, and then a new card for Yummy, I believe. I can't remember. But basically, I will say all of the limited, it's great. Moving, and now we will be moving on to the banned cards. Alright, guys, for the banned cards, we have obviously from the picture, we have Herald of the Dark Light. And I feel like this was actually one of the hits that I felt like that this is necessary to do. Because when we are getting to Blazing Dominion, when we're getting that in a few months, sorry guys, with the Red Dragon Archery support, we're also getting a new dragon in there, which is basically a hand trap. But basically, my thoughts was that when we were getting that set, if Konami haven't banned Herald at that point, then it would be banned fairly very quickly, and maybe also even the new hand trap will be limited or something like that if Herald wasn't getting banned. And the reason for why I'm saying that is because with the new Dragon Hand Trap that we are getting in Burst Protocol, not Burst Protocol, Blazing Dominion, you can send Herald with that card, and then Herald can trigger and search a ritual card, which, again, that could be cards like Habakiri. So that could basically search Habakiri and make full Mitsu combo again. So I will say thank you to Konami to basically taking care of that before it basically became a problem. And that is just my opinion on that, guys. Starting from the top, we have Barrier Statue of the Torrent. I can't remember all of the barrier statues. So yeah, I believe it's the Earth statue, but I can't remember if the Earth statue is even available. I believe I can't remember which ones of them are banned. I know the water statue isn't banned so far as I can recall. The wind statue is banned. The fire is banned, I believe, or maybe it is the fire band. The fire statue. I don't know, guys. Let me know down below in the comments on that one. Then we have White Binder, which I would say it is a very good hit to Malice. And I'm actually happy that Konami decided to hit Malice again. Like, because the funny thing is, but I feel like that even though that White Binder is banned, maybe it will make big changes to Malice. But I feel like that no matter what, no matter what changes that Malice got, like even after the hit all of the Malice main cards, the Malice deck just apparently grew stronger because of the cybers, the addictness to support and stuff like that. So maybe this is actually what kills the deck. Not entirely kills it, but hits it in a way so it's not as strong anymore. Um, because every time that you, at least in my situation, every time that you took to a bigger tournament, it would always be Malice that was the most um represented deck, basically. Like that was the one deck that every, and I will say this, no hate to anyone, but every German person actually brought that deck to that type of tournaments, like regionals and stuff like that. And again, no hate to anybody. I'm just saying it's funny to see that Malice is more popular in Germany. Maybe because it's a big country. But yeah. And last, Harvey's Fiddlestorm, which I actually like the idea of. The last time I saw Harvey's Fiddlestorm was when Florandrees was really big. Um, so I actually don't know. I don't know if there's any other decks right now at this time around that can play it without a problem. But yeah, I don't know, guys. But overall, guys, I would say this was actually a successful list from Konami. I will say that we have a lot of good hits, first of all, and we have a lot of good like cards that are coming back from the ban list. So yeah, basically, I'm happy with this. I can't wait to see what the next format is going to look like after we got the new cards from Burst Protocol. But yeah, guys, let me know down below in the comments as well if you guys are happy with the ban list. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. Peace out.